Hello, Class 2H. We have been looking this week at story settings. You will recall from yesterday's video that a story setting is the where and the when your story takes place. And it's very important that this information is given to the reader so they can get a great idea in their mind of exactly the setting and exactly where the story is happening. You then use other details like what you can hear and what you can smell to add loads of information for the reader. So today we're going to think about each of these elements and apply them to the story setting that you created yesterday. If you recall, you were able to choose from a variety of suggestions to create your own story setting. So you can see that I have given space for the where, the when, and some of those extra details. So Mrs. Higgins, if you recall back to Monday's lesson where Mrs. Higgins read you the story of the lion and the mouse, Mrs. Higgins has outlined these details for that story. If you look here, and in my head, the lion and the mouse is taking place in a forest. So the where for my story for the lion and the mouse is a green, lush forest. I imagine a large empty clearing surrounded by hundreds of trees and several streams. The when, in my mind, the story takes place on a bright sunny day. I imagine that there's sunshine emerging through the gaps in the leaves and that there are spring flowers in bloom. So I have given you hints to tell you that my story takes place in the daytime and probably during spring, and that the weather is lovely. And then I've included some extra details to bring the setting to life in your mind. And I have said that I imagine birds singing and frogs croaking peacefully. I imagine the fragrant smell of flowers in the air. I imagine a distant sound of water bubbling in a stream. And maybe there's a scrabbling sound of lizards climbing in the trees overhead. And all of these pieces of information together can be used to describe our story setting. So today, I want you to take the story setting that you've created and write out the where, the when, and the extra detail. As a result of my preparation, I have then come up with my own story setting, which I'm going to read to you. It is a bright and sunny day in the forest. If you close your eyes, you can hear the birds chirping and the frogs croaking. From time to time, the scrambling sound of lizards' feet passes on the branches above. As you move through the trees, the sunshine emerges through the leaves and creates shadows on the ground. The fragrant scent of the spring flowers in bloom wafts through the air, and a bubbling stream can be heard in the distance. So our preparation and our use of really impressive adjectives and describing words gives us the building blocks to write a very impressive story setting.